Today is the day we are putting the red seat belts, the anniversary belts, these ones right here, into the GTI. Now, before we go ahead and start that project, a few things I want to cover real quick. Yesterday, we put the seat fabric from the Ibiza seats in the wash, and honestly, these things came out so good. At this point, I would say they're back to being pretty much brand new. There's still some actual like wear in the fabric on the driver's seat, but yo, these things came out amazing. From what they were, moldy, nasty, stained up, to now, look at this. These things look incredible now. So now the next thing we must figure out before the seat covers can actually go back on is our foam situation. The driver's seat, a little bit of breakdown right here. Same with the passenger seat right over here. Now there is a part number on the backside of these ones, which is right there, the 191-881-375D. So I went ahead, did some looking online, and I found out our friends over at Work 34 actually look to have the correct foam that we would need. Now this one here is labeled as Golf 1 and Golf 2 sport seats, but looking at them side by side, these things look honestly identical, and the partner they have listed there does match up. So these ones here should work for this, no problem. Now the question is, these are 80 euro a piece. So 2 of them plus shipping will put us somewhere near the $200 mark. Now having brand new foam would be dope, or do we go the cheap route, get some foam pieces and just kind of fill this section in? I haven't quite decided yet. We'll see. Now, obviously going through buying the new foam will be so much easier to slap it on and we're done. But if you guys think there's a way to fix this for not too much money, I'll be down to try it. We need material all through here and then back inside here like this crease is. Most of this material is like rotted or fallen out. So we pretty much need majority of this section to be like reconstructed to get it back to where it needs to be. So that is your update on the seats. Now, final update. Yesterday I had said I ordered a new pinion brace from a company called AKS Tuning over in the UK. Spoke to a guy named Paul who was super helpful. It actually shipped out yesterday and it's currently saying delivery for this Friday. Now, not gonna hold my breath, but things are looking pretty good. All right, with that, all updates are out of the way. Let's get into this thing. Yo, these red belts are gonna look so good in this interior. We'll pull the car forward and then we can go ahead and get started. Wait, why are you dead? Hello? Hello, why are you dead? My lights are off, everything's off. Why in the world is this on? I didn't even hit this. Oh my God, well. All right, jumper cables. I'm not gonna lie. I am really not sure how it is I keep touching the interior light switch. I did it on Miley and now the GTI, and I don't remember hitting it. Someone's messing with me, but it's okay. Wagon to the rescue. All right, let's give her a shot. Do you want to live now, little GTI? I sure hope so. What do we got? What do we got? Not quite. We're almost there. There she is. That's what I wanted to hear. All right, boys, let the fun begin. These ones are coming out. Reds are going in. First, we're gonna do pull the front seats out. It gives a bit more room to work, and then we'll get started. I'm also thinking, while I have the front seats out, I might as well go through the vacuum, clean these ones, clean the carpets, and just do the entire car. Out you go. All right, so front seats out. And before we start going ahead and pulling all this off to get our belts out of here, I'm gonna go through, lay these out, and make sure everything we need. So we have the 2 rears there, our middle lap belt right here, and then 2 fronts with the little slider bar. Same as this one because this is a 2-door, not a 4-door. I will say though, these seat belts are anniversary belts out of a Seat Ibiza. Same seats we just put in the Savoy over there. So there is a chance, I mean the body styles are similar, there is a chance these might not work directly. I might have to modify something, or they might not work at all, but we'll see here in a minute. Now for some reason, if these aren't a direct fit into the car, we can go through and actually pull the belt itself out of the housing here and swap just the belt into the Mark III housing. It is a bit longer of a process, but it can be done. So I totally forgot, this car being a 2-door, not a 4-door, we must remove the back seats as well so we can pull this paneling off and get to the belt behind it. Seats are out and our recover's out. Now we can go through and start pulling the trim off. We're gonna start up here in the front and pull this panel off first because this section goes underneath right here. 1 screw, 1, 2, 3 for this side. We have this one, this one, this one, that one, that one, the little anchor for the back seat. And I think that's it, and this whole side panel here should come forward and off. So now with all the trim out of the way, we're left with this inside the car. You can see everything's all open, and the factory Mark III belt mounts up right through here and then runs all the way to this section over here, whereas the one out of the Ibiza is all one unit. But it looks like they will mount up exactly the same, and this should fit inside of there. Now this section for the second point up here looks to be a little different in how it's designed, but I think it will still fit and work with this possibly. And then obviously this piece down here just hooks around this bar and it's good to go. So there's a good chance this will be a direct fit and fit right inside there. And then coming to the back of the car, I still have to pull this panel off. You can see this is the back side of the seatbelt, which will be this one. It should bolt up like that, and then our secondary one goes up to here, and then the little hook that goes way down there, which this is the same as that one. So I think there's a good chance these might fit right in the car. Also, I want to note, I popped this piece off and I didn't break a single one of these. And if you know Mark III's, these things right here love to shatter, and I don't know how, but got them all off. Nothing broke. I am super surprised. So now we'll go through, we'll unhook the bolts down here, pull this belt off of this slider, slide it up through here, undo this one, undo that one, and pull the entire thing out, and then see how that one's gonna fit. All right, easy enough. First seat belt is out. Now we can test fit our new one and see if it works. All right, so for the most part, these belts are actually direct fit. That bolts up no problem. All this fits through here. The only issue, and if you're not running this piece, then it's not an issue at all, but for me, I wanna be able to put this back up. Since the one out of the Seat is a little bit farther out, where the one in the Mark III, see how small that one is? It sits pretty much flat to here, where this one sticks out about 1 inch. You can no longer fit this over top and actually pop it into place. But other than that, everything else works the exact same. So I'm gonna pop this little piece right there off, slide the belt off, or the buckle piece off, slide this off, swap it with the one from the Mark III, that way it's flatter, and then we should be good to go. Clip this in and the front should be all done. This little tab here, looks like you just pop it through and pull it off and then put it back on when you're done. I know this seat belt over here is actually missing it all together, so this one won't be a problem to swap out, but this one still has it. But it looks like you just go ahead and pop that little pin right in the middle right there out and just pull it off. We should be able to take this one off, take this one off, and be all set. So this came off easy enough. You just pop it off and that's it. I forgot about this portion of the belt. We are not gonna be able to get this past this. There's no chance. I mean, maybe, but if I get this off, I'll never get it back over that, so I'm gonna leave that alone. What I'm gonna try and do is make this portion of where it bolts up to here flatter. Like on the one for the Mark III, you can see how flat this one is, or this one sticks out a bit. I'm gonna try and sand that down so it's nice and flat and sits closer to here, and if that works, we're good. But if not, we'll have to go ahead and tear this entire thing apart and put the red belt inside of this one, or I can just not use these at all, get a set of actual red belts from a Mark III and go that route. But while we're here, I'm gonna try and make this work, but if not, at least we tried. All right, so this is how it was before. This is how it is now, and then this is the Mark III one. I tried to make this the same size as what that one is, and I think it's pretty close, so this should work. All right, well, I am pleased to say the little trick worked, and we got red belts now in the GTI. How sick is that? Everything how it should be, everything works properly. Not bad. So after, I don't know, I've been out here for like 3 hours. I've been going so slow today, but one down, 3 to go. I'm not even sure if the rears work yet, but we'll get to that in a minute. Both fronts are now officially done. Passenger side and driver side. Second time around, so much faster. This took me all of like 5 minutes and it's done. Now, we must come to the back. We got to pull off these top panels here and see about fitting the rears. So back here we have 1, 2, and 1 back there of these little metal caps that are 10mm that hold this section on. This piece does go all the way up to the middle pillar there, but I'm going to try and just pop this back corner off and work right behind this section, because there's more clips all through this area there, and the less I have to pull off, the better. So now this pulled forward like that, we get access the 117 up there and get this whole entire thing out of there. There she is. Rear belt is now officially out. So comparing the rears here, this one I just pulled out off of the driver's side has the pin on the right. This one, same as well. Looks to be the exact same spot between this pin and that pin and the 2 mounting holes, so that should be good. And then I might have to trim this piece again. But other than that, it should work out. All right, so after messing with it for a little while, I don't think the rears are gonna quite work. So I got this bolted in, which is the same as what the factory one was with the little stud there. The problem is this belt is flipped the opposite way, so it puts this on the wrong side, so I'd have to like try to roll the belt back here, and it looks really awkward. And also the clip, I'll show you on this one, this bracket that the Seat uses, this is also the wrong direction, so it won't roll flat enough to fit back there. And then also this one's just way too big compared to the much smaller Mark III one. Now I was gonna try and pull this apart and put this red belt into the Mark III bracket, but the problem is it's not necessarily that I need this bracket, it's that I need these actual mounting points, where if I swap belts, I'll still have these mounting points on this belt, because I'm pretty sure when I pulled apart these belts for Jerome the one time, even once you pull it all the way through, I don't think there's a way to get these off, because there's a giant like gear that's on this side, and then obviously on this side I can't pull it past that. So I'm not sure if swapping belts is even an option, because I don't need this. I just need the Mark III ones, that would be fine, but I'm not quite sure if the rear's gonna work. So I might just wait for a little while or do some more research and see, or I might just try and find a set of actual anniversary seats out of a Mark III and swap those in. But we're almost there. We almost have red belts. All right, so I spent some time talking to a few friends, talked to Danny, talked to Jerome. So I've pulled apart these before, like I did for Jerome a long time ago. And you to the very bottom, there's like a reel, like a silver reel that's in the bottom. I just couldn't remember if you could actually pull the belt out of that metal piece, but they're saying you can. And then after that, it should be thin enough to slide, hopefully slide these pieces I need off of this belt, and then do the same thing, pull this belt out, and then swap this to this belt, and then put this belt in on either one. I mean, this one will work on the Mark III as long as this one, and actually, this hanger piece, there's two little tabs that hold it in. This one has it as well, so I can just swap this piece over. But the biggest thing, I just need to have the correct hardware, and then I need to actually flip this belt over so this little eyepiece is on the right side for the driver's side. But it should work. So I'm gonna try my best to pull this apart and not break anything, and then see if we can't reuse it. And then also, if you ever have belts out of the car, there's a counterweight at the bottom. Make sure you have it this way to pull the belt up and out. If you have it like this, it just locks. You have to have it the right direction, and then that way you can pull all the way out. So, fun little fact. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started on this. I'm gonna pull all of this out. Actually, I'll show you real quick. Let me pull all this out real quick. That way you can see what we're dealing with here. So at the very bottom, this is the silver little reel, and they said there's a little like C-clamp somewhere on this I need to find that you slide out, slide the belt off, and then we'll go from there. So I gotta try and find that, and then once I get that sorted, belt out, hopefully pull this off, swap it, and then come tomorrow morning we can actually swap the rest of the red belts in the car. And I might go through and actually do the fronts as well and swap over the proper hardware, because the front for the Seat do work, but they stick a little bit where you pull the seatbelt down. So if this isn't too difficult to do, I might do the front as well and swap over the proper hardware. That way everything's direct fit, works properly, and good to go. All right, so I wanted to pause real quick and show you where I was at. I pulled off the top hanger piece off of the Mark III one, and I pulled off this little cover that goes like right here. I've pulled all the belt out, as you can see. Once you get to the very end, you're gonna wanna hold this roller the entire time. You don't want it to spin back and retract. Once you get down to here, you'll be able to see the belt, which is this piece right here. At the very end, what you wanna do is push the belt from the long end through and out, like I've done there. You can see as I push it through. Now once you get to here, now this little plastic pin you can see right there in the end of the belt, that's what actually holds it inside of here from pulling all the way through. What we want to do now is push this little pin out of the way. The belt will come through and be free. So we'll push it like this a little bit. We'll grab it here, and now that's out. Also keep in mind, make sure you know which way the belt is facing before you pull it out. I've taken pictures and I know which way it's going. Now, still holding the metal reel down here. I'm gonna pull this through. Oh yeah, camera's on. Whew. Sorry guys, there it is. All right, belt is officially out, and we're left with this. Still need to keep holding this, we can't spin. I'm gonna put a flathead through it real quick and stick it right there so it can't rotate any farther than this. And now I need to get the belt out of this one, but that is how you remove the belt out of your Mark III retractor here. Now the biggest question is gonna be, can we get this piece that I need, which is this one right there, over this? And I don't know. It seems like it's gonna be a pain. I mean, maybe, but we'll see. But if I can't swap this to the red belts, then we can't use them at all because these ones are just too big and there's no way they can work with the Mark III. So if this doesn't work, we're kind of out of luck, but at least wanted to try it. All right, so here's the current plan because there is no chance of pulling this past that. It's just, there's not enough room. I tried my best and this thing will not pull through, but it's okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut this seat belt for the Mark III because I don't need it and they're easy to get more if I do want one back, but I'm gonna cut this so I can pull this off intact. Once this is off, I'm gonna use this file and open up inside here just a tiny little bit. Once that is done, we're gonna come over here to our red belt. I'm going to cut this entire one off of this one because I don't wanna cut this belt. I'm gonna cut this bracket off, and then at that point, the part I need will slide onto this one. We'll slide the entire thing back into the Mark III bracket, and then red belts are done. A little bit extra work, but again, I got these for free in a trade, so instead of spending 150, 200 bucks on actual Mark III anniversary belts, I can spend a little bit of time and make these ones actually work. Save me some money. So it is more work, but they will work. A little bit of cutting involved, but gotta do what you gotta do. All right, step one is complete. Got the piece I need. Now step two, remove this one from a red belt. All right, step two, make a small cut on the side, and now remove our red belt. Just like so. Voila, voila, look at that. Finally, step three, put the new piece on the red belt, just like that. Instead of actually grinding some of the plastic away, it actually just chipped off like no problem. The bottom section is still there, so it's very smooth here, won't tear up the belt. But the top section is gone, just a little bit more room. Obviously the metal piece is still there, but the plastic covering came off a little bit, and it gives you just enough room. So now this is through, everything's orientated the right way. Tag is up, matching the original belt, which they are exactly the same length, which is good. So everything's the same. All you do now is put this back into this one, and one's done. So we have the red belt going into the Mark III retractor now, putting our plastic pin through. And then once this is through and it's held, we can go ahead and let it go back and make sure everything's good to go. All right, that's through. We'll pull this. Like so. You can see how it fits right inside there. So now we can let it go, which is always seated in there. All right, so now we can let it go. Look at that. Now we got a red belt with the proper pieces on it. This will go like so, and then this will go down on the driver's side. Yes, let's go. That's sick. So if you ever find a set of Ibiza anniversary belts you want to use the Mark III, you can do it. Requires a little bit of cutting, but I think the outcome is definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Now that I know how to do it, obviously it's not a very long process. We'll pop this back on this one like so, and then that's one. We'll do one more, and then tomorrow we'll get them knocked out. Yes, that's so sick. Let's go. At this point, the rears are officially done. We have the Ibiza anniversary red belts now in the Mark III housing with the Mark III little mid guide, if you want to call it that. And then still the Ibiza buckle there, but that works with the Mark III stuff, so it's not a big deal. But there they are. Now that I know how to actually do this, I did this belt in all of 5 minutes. Very, very simple to do. And actually, on the second belt, I didn't have to cut this one at all. I just actually broke some of the plastic piece here off, so it's wide enough to fit around the end. And that's all you gotta do. Very, very simple. Again, having the factory anniversary belt out of a Mark III is obviously gonna be easier than this, but if you get some of these belts for super cheap or you get them for free or in a trade like I did, I mean, just to make them work, not bad at all. All right, so I'm gonna end this video here. Tomorrow we'll come back, put the rears in, put all the interior back in the car, come through with the vacuum, clean the carpets, clean the seats, and at that point, the interior will be looking perfect. GTI seats, red belts, it's gonna look so, so sick. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Do not forget, be thankful for every single day. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.